Hi everyone, welcome back to another Tough Topics video, and today we're talking about meiosis. One way that can help you remember it is me. In meiosis, I got here from the reproduction of sex cells. So, what is meiosis? Meiosis is a type of cell division where a single cell divides twice and produces 4 daughter cells with half the amount of genetic material, which are sex cells, sperm and egg cells. Egg for the female and sperm for the male. So, here is some vocabulary just to keep in mind for the rest of the video. What are chromosomes? Chromosomes are genetic material. What is a nucleosis? A nucleosis is a structure in the nucleus that makes ribosomes who build proteins. What are nuclei? Nuclei is just the plural of nucleus. What are haploids? Haploids are cells with half the number of chromosomes, or sex cells. What are chromatids? Chromatids are 2 identical halves of a chromosome. And finally, what is the cytoplasm? The cytoplasm is the jelly-like fluid inside a cell that surrounds and supports all the organelles or cell parts and helps them work together. Now let's look at the stages of meiosis. There are 8 in total, 3 more than mitosis because PMAT, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase happens twice, and we will see why in just a second. Now, let's look at the first phase of meiosis, which is prophase 1. Now, what happens in prophase 1? The chromosomes condense and the nucleosis breaks down. As the chromosomes move around inside the cell, crossing over happens, which means that genetic material of the chromosomes is exchanged. Now, let's look at the second phase of meiosis, which is metaphase 1. Now, what happens in metaphase 1? The chromosomes align in pairs in the center of the cell, and because of this, random assortment occurs. This means that chromosome pairs line up randomly. Now let's look at the third phase of meiosis, which is anaphase 1. Now, what happens in anaphase 1? The chromosome pairs separate and move to opposite ends of the cell. This ensures that each cell contains half the number of chromosomes. Now let's look at the fourth phase of meiosis, which is telophase 1. Now, what happens in telophase 1? 2 new nuclei form around each set of chromosomes. The cytoplasm splits and 2 haploid daughter cells are formed. Haploid means that each cell has half the number of chromosomes as the parent cell. Next, let's look at prophase 2, which is the fifth phase of meiosis. Now, what happens in prophase 2? Well, prophase 2 happens to allow 4 haploid sex cells, sperm and egg cells, to be created. The chromosomes condense and the nucleosis breaks in both cells. Next, let's look at metaphase 2, which is the sixth phase of meiosis. Now, what happens in metaphase 2? The chromosomes align single file in the center of the cell. This occurs to ensure sister chromatids separate in the next stage. Next, let's look at anaphase 2, which is the second to last phase of meiosis, or the seventh phase. Now, what happens in anaphase 2? Sister chromatids separate and move to opposite ends of the cell. This ensures the daughter cells remain haploids, which means that they keep half of the genetic material of the original parent cell. Now let's look at the final and 8th stage of meiosis, which is telophase 2. Now, what happens in telophase 2? 4 new nuclei form around each set of chromosomes. The cytoplasm split and 4 haploid daughter cells are formed. Finally, let's look at the whole process of meiosis altogether. The first part is we have prophase 1, and then metaphase 1, and then anaphase 1, and then telophase 1. The second part of meiosis includes prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and finally telophase 2. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this week's Tough Topics video, and I hope this helps with whatever you're studying for in biology. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!